air. Gold bells shining, they all dare. Tougher, fists held high. Warriors fight till the night says die. FWE, where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE, where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. Oh, FWE, FWE. Oh, FWE, FWE.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's episode of Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment. It's the go-home show as this Saturday night, it's the third iteration of Saturday at Springfield. A week from tonight, it's the Guardians of the Ring PLE. I'm Seth Cole alongside of Jack Mitchell. Jack, tonight we fill out finally the last portions of the brackets for the Guardians of the Ring tournament to determine the semifinals going into Saturday night.
We are just on the cusp of that double PLE stretch that we have coming at you guys starting on Saturday.
Is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring,
Tag team action here tonight. This to determine the number one contenders for the Women's Disney Tag Team Championships, currently in the possession of Team Let It Go. We saw the Disney Queens defeat the Daughters of Thanos to be able to advance here into this number one contenders match.
Like I mentioned during that match too, I'm sure that there's probably a lot of women's tag teams on that side who are not too thrilled that the Disney Queens are making a run at this number one contendership spot, because last time they held the tag team titles, they barred plenty of teams from ever being able to compete for those titles again until they finally did end up changing hands.
Looking for an opportunity to be two-time women's tag team champions. This duo looking to hold the title belts for the very first time.
and their opponents, the Anarchists.
And this has been a really interesting tag team to watch as of late, because these two ended up going at each other in, I believe it was a power-up ladder match qualifier, and they did not seem to be getting along on the same page. They used kind of the most brutal moves on one another in that matchup, but ever since then they've sort of reaffirmed that they're kind of back on the same page, but I guess we'll have to see how long that lasts.
The synergy has seemed to connect. Can it continue here this evening and put them for the very first time in number one contendership for the tag team titles? They've never gotten this far to within reach of the tag team belts. As we've already mentioned, the Disney Queens, they've held the title belts before, so gotta wonder if maybe that, I'll say, veteran experience will come into play for the Disney Queens here tonight. Catching Fireflies, they ended up defeating Mystery Incorporated to advance into this number one contenders matches. Here we go. Belle and Ellie gonna start things off for their respective teams. You gotta know that somewhere backstage, Anna and Elsa, Team Let It Go, gonna be watching this with a vested interest as they will defend the tag team titles against one of these two teams this Saturday night at Saturday Night Springfield.
I'm gonna be taking some notes here. Understand their opponent's playbook. I mean, either of these teams very formidable, but it could be a little bit of a wild card if Catching Firefly is able to win it, because like you mentioned, they've never competed for the tag team titles before.
Big knee lift right under the jaw there by Ellie. Tag into Katniss. Katniss, gonna go right to work here. I guess we can start to call it now the most overused move in fantasy wrestling entertainment.
I don't know why Belle's standing there letting her get off all 10. Maybe just way to distract her. Now got her in a submission hold.
Leg lock applied here. Katniss trying to shift the hips, gonna fight out of it with right hands right to the bridge of the nose. But smart there on the part of Belle, take away the vertical base. We know that a lot of Katniss Everdeen's offense comes from her power game. Of course, ended up getting the winning pin for her team back in that matchup with Mystery Incorporated off the Razor's Edge as a cover and a kick out before referee Ernest Wright's hand even comes down for one.
That kicking offense has definitely been in favor of Katniss so far. There's another one delivered straight to the side of the head. I'm going to go for a tag. Normal tag team rules here, so countouts, DQs are all going to be a factor.
Team Let It Go on their second title reign at the top of the women's tag team division. They will have surpassed 50 days into that reign when we get to the Saturday night at Springfield PLE. The only team in FWA history to hold the tag team titles more than once. The Disney Queens would like to join them in that regard if they can advance in this tournament.
Something else about the Disney Queens that's been going on as of late as well. I kind of feel like right now that faction is just sort of letting these two kind of handle the tag team title business, because you look at members like Jasmine. Jasmine is absolutely struggling right now, has not been able to find any kind of momentum whatsoever.
Was unsuccessful. Whoa! Ducks that big chop, does Bell. To your point there, full Nelson suplex by Bell. Jasmine unsuccessful this past Saturday night in her Guardians of the Ring Fatal 4-Way matchup, so we know that she will not be advancing into the semifinals. We're going to determine the fourth and final individual on both the men's and the women's side to advance out of the Fatal 4-Way matchup, setting up our semifinals that we will see take place this Saturday night. Of course, those semifinals will determine the finals that will be at the Guardians of the Ring PLE 1 week from tonight.
That's the big focus of that Guardians of the Ring PLE, is those finals in these tournaments that we've had going on these last few weeks. And of course, the big prize at stake, win those matches, you get a guaranteed world championship match when we get to Combat Evolve.
It's interesting too, you go back to last Thursday night, we ended up seeing Dylan Young have to pull off double duty. Obviously, the storylines, the timing of not only these qualifying matchups in Guardians of the Ring, but also there are individuals that are trying to get into consideration for other titles here in FWE. We're going to have another instance of that here tonight, where Katniss Everdeen, her qualifying matchup is in tonight's main event, but tonight, here in the beginning of this evening, she's looking to, along with Ellie, get into number one contendership for the tag team belts.
No rest for the wicked, I suppose.
Irish whipped into the corner, big clothesline there, back elbow. Katniss, all the momentum right now. Takes to the skies and hits the springboard moonsault.
Gonna go for another one. Nobody home. Hunter did well to read that one. Oh!
Modified code breaker there. The double knees under the jaw, follows it up with a drop kick, and now a standing moonsault.
To the back. Go for the tag now.
It's going to be interesting to see is hold the phone here. Double underhook, powerbomb by Bell, cover in on Katniss to advance to number one contendership, and Katniss just got out, but it's going to be really interesting, depending on who advances here between these two teams, to kind of figure out what history there might be between them and Team Let It Go. We need to remember that when the Disney Queens lost the tag team titles, they lost them to Disney Strong Style. Disney Strong Style would then eventually lose them to Team Let It Go. So as far as history of the tag team title belts, Disney Queens and Team Let It Go, I don't believe have any history against each other.
I don't think so either, but I mean, the longer we go, they're bound to have their paths cross at some point, so I guess they just have to be prepared for any opponent that can come their way. As Ellie gonna get dropped back right onto the apron.
Bell's a one-woman wrecking crew right now. A couple of back body drops onto the ring apron, one for Katniss, one for Ellie, and now locking in that Fujiwara armbar on the outside. Certainly can't win the match out here, but you can wear your opponent down. Need to be aware of that 10 count, though.
I mean, you could just leave your opponent out there and wait for the count out.
Still count as a victory for sure. As Bell and Ellie tied up here. Katniss with a couple of shots there to Rapunzel and gonna knock Rapunzel off the apron.
They'll work her way into the ring. That'll stop the count, but then she'll meet the knee of Katniss.
Double stomp there to the knees, kneecaps into the canvas there for Belle. Maybe take away some of Belle's high-flying mobility. Now gonna find herself in the wrong part of town as Katniss brings her over. Tag is in, here comes Ellie.
A double team right here, make sure the chemistry is all good.
Katniss Everdeen, a former female fighting champion, as here's a cover by Belle on Ellie. Power out at 2. Ellie is still looking for her first title belt here in FWE, trying to win the tag team titles for the first time in her career.
It'd be kind of a frustrating feeling too when you've gone as long as you have and you still haven't found any championship success just yet, whether it's singles matches or tag team matches. Oh, big kick. Did not drop Ellie, but that one will.
Snapmare takedown and then just, I believe, drove the elbow right into the top of the head. Now working on that left arm, which I believe is the arm that Ellie likes to use for that knockout chop, so smart to target that appendage.
I mean, it's smart to target any appendage on Ellie too, because if there's a shot to the gut, I mean, if she can't get any leverage, she's going to be stuck in a submission hold like this.
Disarmer locked in, and Ellie's in the wrong part of town, but Katniss was able to quickly get across the ring to break that up before Rapunzel could get involved and cut her off.
These two will brawl for a little bit here. They've got to keep in mind of the referee's count. Don't want to get counted out here. Ellie's going to get back onto her feet.
Katniss was disposed of Rapunzel for a moment there. Belle has nobody to tag. Ellie tags Katniss back in.
This is a great moment for catching fireflies. They have Belle cornered right now, and there's no one in for her to tag. There's no safety net.
Gotta take advantage of this opportunity here. A little showboating there for Katniss might cost her, but she's setting Belle up for something. Could we be looking for the Razor's Edge? This is how she helped Catching Fireflies advance in their matchup against Mystery Incorporated.
It connects. Still no sign of Rapunzel on the other side. There she is.
Cover is in by Katniss. Rapunzel's not moving, and that's going to do it.
Here are your winners, the Anarchy.
Little surprising there that Rapunzel didn't go in to break that up. Maybe she had enough faith that Belle was going to kick out. That wasn't the case, and there are your new #1 contenders for the Women's Disney Tag Team titles.
Talked about before the match how we weren't necessarily certain of the chemistry between Catching Fireflies. Now you kind of have to wonder the same thing about Belle and Rapunzel.
They have a date this Saturday night with Team Let It Go. It'll be Catching Fireflies and Team Let It Go for the tag team titles. And up next, final participant to be determined in the Guardians of the Ring Fatal 4-Way on the men's side.
Raise your hands, let the fire ignite. Bound by fate, we'll win this fight. Through the storm, hear the echoes cling. Side by side, we're the Guardians of the Ring.
It's a fatal 4-way match. Making his way to the ring, representing the Islanders from Honolulu, Hawaii, weighing in at 280 pounds.
Maui unsuccessful at the power-up PLE from retrieving the power-up briefcase in that ladder match, has another opportunity to obtain championship gold, as he is going to be one of the 4 participants here in the final fatal 4-way matchup here, looking to move on to the semifinals. We already know whoever wins this matchup, they will be taking on Flynn Rider at Saturday night at Springfield.
I'm definitely going to be watching this matchup with a lot of interest as well, because he's going to have an idea of who he'll be facing in that matchup. kind of something else that these competitors also have to keep in mind is that now we know for sure who their opponent's going to be on the other side of the bracket in the semifinals once they win this matchup tonight.
Raphael was also involved in that power-up ladder match, also on the unsuccessful side. Opportunity here tonight, and a big opportunity for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a whole, maybe at Guardians of the Ring. We know that his teammates Donatello and Leonardo, the current holders of the Men's Disney Tag Team Championships, they will defend those titles at the PLE. We still yet to determine who they will face. We know at least at this point that the family, Ed and Eddie, have moved on. They will face off against the winner of tonight's tag team matchup, the Black Pearl crew, Jack Sparrow and Will Turner, against the Hurt Business.
And representing the tough guys from the internet, weighing in at 228 pounds, Mr. Amazing!
Well, we saw, I believe it was, this past Saturday night, Elastigirl, the current Women's Universal Champion, take part in one of the Fatal 4-Way qualifying matches. Her counterpart, Mr. Incredible, here with an opportunity, and certainly got to think he's hoping to fare a lot better than his wife did.
Yeah, he's certainly hoping to avoid the same fate. Obviously, we don't have to ask ourselves those what-if questions, because obviously it would create quite the interesting scenario if Elastigirl were able to win that tournament. Because, again, like we've said multiple times, you get a guaranteed world title match, but if she's holding the world title and wins the tournament, then it just creates a whole bunch of what-if scenarios that we, again, no longer have to worry about now that she's out of it. So Mr. Incredible hoping to hopefully learn from that matchup and do a lot better.
Very carefully right there to our ring announcer Mike Rome. He introduced Aladdin as a member of who? The Outsiders. Who is his tag team partner in the Outsiders? None other than Flynn Rider. Can you imagine a scenario going into Saturday Night at Springfield where teammates have to go against each other for an opportunity to advance into the Guardians of the Ring tournament finals?
That would certainly be quite the spectacle, but I feel like Aladdin might be a little bit more motivated to win this tournament because I don't really think he's done anything massive, noteworthy, or anything like that since he had those neck problems when taking on Hades a bunch of times. So I feel like Aladdin is desperate to try to make a statement. This would be his first step towards doing so.
Opportunity to kind of get back into the groove, prove himself here. He's obviously been a stalwart individual in the cruiserweight division, but to your point, has not been able to taste championship gold. As this will be a fun matchup here as a cover in by Mr. Incredible on Maui. A couple of powerhouses locking up in the early going.
Got a lot of powerhouses too. The Ninja Turtle Raphael, and don't sleep on Aladdin either. He can definitely surprise people.
You'd think that out of these four individuals, there'd be one in particular that Flynn Rider would want to win this matchup. Do you think he'd want that matchup against his teammate Aladdin?
You know, I would say yes, because, I mean, it does sound a little bit weird taking on your tag team partner, but at least you understand how your tag team partner works. You know his playbook, so you can kind of get a read on him if you have to fight him in a one-on-one matchup. You know, you might not say that you want to face your tag team partner. That's a nice DDT by Aladdin into the cover.
Cover on Raphael, kick out at one. He actually made some contact with a referee Ernest right there. We've talked about in this type of a matchup, the referee not always safe. A lot happens in a very confined space, and so referee Ernest Wright has to pick his positions correctly here with all the mayhem that takes place.
To be very careful as well to try to make sure that you can closely watch the shoulders and don't make sure you don't have to run around a whole mass of humanity to try to count a pin.
Nice Backstabber by Aladdin. Right now he and Raphael alone in the ring. Mr. Incredible and Maui on the outside currently.
Ooh.
Looks like they may face off here on the outside of the ring. It's a big opportunity for the two individuals between the ropes to try and capitalize here, take out the X Factor if there's a pinfall.
And Aladdin went for some kind of a moonsault attack or some sort on Raphael, and Raphael was able to get the knees up. Now the big knee to the chest of Aladdin, going to the cover.
Modified Kinshasa there by Raphael, and Maui saw that taking place and was able to break it up in time. As we mentioned, the winner of this matchup is going to take on Flynn Rider at Saturday at Springfield. We already know the other side of the semifinals on the men's side from Guardian Spring Tournament. Anthony McCrory will be taking on former Tri-Wizard champion Shaggy Rogers. Oh, gracious.
Oh my goodness. We got a steel chair brought into the mix, obviously. Oh, look out. There's your weekly flying chair reminder.
Oh, and that almost was a perfect scenario for Mr. Incredible. Smart by Raphael to roll out of the ring because he would have been left susceptible with nobody else in the area for Mr. Incredible to have gone for a pinfall.
Yeah, Mr. Incredible decided to go for a diving maneuver off the top rope, and he took out two for the price of one. Oh, Aladdin able to get a nice reversal in. Not triple threat. Fatal four-way rules, so.
It'd be the same in a triple threat, so you'd still be right.
Yeah, somebody could get taken out of the arena completely.
Big slam there by Mr. Incredible. Now a backstabber from Raphael. Again, all this damage can be done outside of the ring, but you can't do a pinfall or a submission to win unless you're in between the ropes, as you see Mr. Incredible deposited there.
Again, I've been waiting for his moment. Aladdin gonna get sent back into the ring.
Smart there by Mr. Incredible. We saw him before go to the outside when he really didn't have to. This time he kind of bided his time, took a little bit of rest inside of the ring here, and might be able to capitalize. His kick to the gut, loading up Aladdin. Oh!
Whoa!
Nice reversal there into the backslide roll-up, and a kick out by Mr. Incredible.
Mr. Incredible landed on the steel chair when Aladdin got that reversal in, so a bit of extra damage done.
Hurricane Rana takedown there by Aladdin. Big drop kick. Gonna take Mr. Incredible down to the mat, and where is Aladdin going? He's very at home on the top rope.
Waiting for Mr. Incredible to get to his feet, but now here comes Raphael intercepting that move, and Aladdin did not get the greatest of landings.
Aladdin crash and burn with that leg drop. That'll jar your tailbone, and now Maui back into the ring. Big Uranagi slam to Raphael, and look at this. Maybe a little competitive strength contest here between Mr. Incredible and Maui.
See who can lift the Ninja Turtle higher.
Gracious.
Oh, we've got another steel chair. Aladdin waiting for his moment. Oh, look out.
I swear our chairs and kendo sticks are more projectiles than anything here in FWE. As hold the phone. Aladdin gonna dial it up. 619 connects.
In perfect position. Where is he going? I don't know why he's not going for the cover. That would have been the perfect opportunity.
Absolutely perfect opportunity, and this is going to allow Mr. Incredible to regain a little bit of composure here. He was ripe for the picking. That may come back to haunt Aladdin. We've seen it so many times where you can have an opportunity, you don't capitalize on it, and next thing you know, that individual that you didn't pin or submit, they end up going on to win the match.
I mean, Aladdin is still on fire in this matchup right now, but he's going to have to capitalize on an opportunity sooner than later, or he's going to regret his patience.
He's going to regret right there. Gut first into the steel steps, courtesy of Raphael. And now Raphael focusing on Aladdin on the outside. You would have thought that with both Aladdin and Maui down, Raphael would get into the ring there to try and take advantage of Mr. Incredible. A couple of mental lapses we're seeing right now. Is that just a flurry of a fatal four-way? Maybe you're not always thinking clearly?
It could very well be. I mean, you've got to keep track of three opponents at the same time. You got to have eyes in the back of your head and got to understand when everything's going on, because we talk about it all the time. You land a move on somebody else, and then somebody else is right behind you to dish out even more punishment.
Oh, nice roundhouse kick there by Raphael. Mr. Incredible is down, cover is in, and oh!
Maui threw Aladdin back into the ring and then kind of had to jump over him to break that pin up.
It's almost like he pushed Aladdin into that pinning combination to break it up.
Raphael had a kendo stick for a moment, didn't get a chance to use it.
Oh! Big power slam there by Maui. Takes Raphael out of the conversation. Look
Oh
at
my
the strength of
goodness.
Mr. Incredible! Alabama slam, is that enough to move on? And Maui gets the shoulder up at 2.
Aladdin was distracted looking for a weapon underneath the ring. There was no kick out. That would have been the end of it. Oh, a double team. Aladdin's not going to like that one.
DDT, again, we talked about the history of the neck problems for Aladdin. Makes you a bit of a target there with that DD2 maneuver. Knockout blow by Raphael,
my.
but Mr. Incredible was right there. Up, hold the phone! Kinshasa! Cover again by Raphael, and again broken up this time by Maui.
Maui just had enough wherewithal to get right back up and break up that pinfall. Keep my eyes on Aladdin right now. He slowly worked his way back up to his feet. Now here he comes to break this one up.
Belly to belly suplex there. It was actually Mr. Incredible that broke up that pinfall attempt as Aladdin looking maybe for the standing bulldog. And now gets met with a drop kick. A dinosaur-like drop kick from Maui.
Oh, Maui looking to get a measure of revenge.
Running power slam to Mr. Incredible. And now Maui getting hit front and back by kicks courtesy of both Aladdin and Raphael. I believe that was another modified Kinshasa by Raphael. Cover is in and broken up by Mr. Incredible. Aladdin, I think, was going for a springboard coffin drop that did not have the distance he was looking for.
I'm not sure what he was doing. I'm not sure what kind of a springboard attack it was or whatever, but like he said, nowhere near the amount of distance he needed to cover. And again, he has Mr. Incredible in golden position right now. He doesn't go for it. You can't be patient in moments like that. You've got to take your shot while it's there.
Yeah, for sure. Now he may pay for that as Mr. Incredible has him up and down, forehead bouncing off the ring apron.
And this is all just for an opportunity to get into the semifinal match. The Guardians of the Ring tournament.
We know that the winner at least will advance as far as Saturday to Springfield in the semifinals. Not a guarantee, as you said, though, that you're going to advance to the Guardians of the Ring PLE with a chance to fight, have an opportunity to guarantee title shot at Combat Evolved.
All the action in front of around our announce table here. Oh!
Big neck breaker.
What is going on over here?
Little do-si-do off of Raphael's limp corpse there. Maui and Mr. Incredible didn't quite have the reach to be able to fling at each other across Raphael.
Raphael's back on his feet now, and some more ringside interactions going on here. Almost had another game of Ring Around the Rosie.
Maui's been busted open for a good majority of this match. You would think that that might come into play in terms of endurance the later that this fatal four-way goes on, but he hasn't showed any signs of slowing down. It's actually been really fun to watch him and Mr. Incredible in their tests of strength against each other. Only one man is going to be moving on the Saturday to Springfield PLE, moving on here in this Guardians of the Ring tournament.
We are definitely in extra innings for this one right now. I mean, I feel like we're in the territory where one big move is going to be all it takes. It doesn't even need to be inside the ring. It can happen ringside, and all you have to do is toss your opponent back into the ring and go for the pin. Oh, goodness.
That Dropkick, I believe, caught both Mr. Incredible and Raphael, maybe more so Mr. Incredible, but 2 for the price of 1.
Aladdin again finding that second win, finding that momentum.
He's got everybody down. Focus on one guy, get him back in the ring. Oh! Well, that'll change your plans.
I think he was trying to get Raphael back in the ring, but Raphael kind of forced a tie-up for a moment there, and then one big kick was all it took to knock Aladdin down. But again, back on his feet. Maybe not for long, though.
Might not like this landing. Gorilla press and just drop down there onto the very low padded floor.
In danger, probably lucky that he's got a bit of protection with that shell. I'm not sure how much protection it has, but maybe it hurts slightly less.
Might have been looking for a Dominator there, but Mr. Incredible able to slip out of the back door. He'll deliver a Dominator himself there to Raphael, who does not have a shell on the front.
I was going to say, yeah, that part of his body does not have any kind of shell protection there, so that will certainly be a lot more painful.
Massive clothesline there from Maui, takes Mr. Incredible off of his feet. Again, the pinfall submission has to take place inside the ring here, and now Aladdin deposited between the ropes.
Nobody else is there, though. Aladdin, you never know. He could be thinking about some kind of a flying attack. There he goes.
Flying senton gonna take out Maui on the outside of the ring. Now Aladdin and Mr. Incredible, the only 2 standing. Maybe a little exchange of words there between the 2 as they exchange back and forth.
Well, big rights from Aladdin. Again, as you mentioned, it's been a spectacular brawl here ringside, but at some point you've got to get them in between the ropes.
Sling blade drop kick combination there by Aladdin. Now going to work on Maui. Aladdin's the only one standing right now. Might be trying to get the 2 big men down, maybe focus on the smaller individual in Raphael, but that's going to be the least of his worries now as both Maui, well, I was going to say both Maui and Mr. Incredible up to their feet before Mr. Incredible dropped him.
Reversal there partially by Mr. Incredible. He'll send Aladdin into the ring. Will he join him inside? Yes, he will. Here we go.
Aladdin looking for the head scissors takedown. Cover is in.
This could be it.
Be enough. Was enough damage done the outside, and guess it will be.
How about that?
Here is your winner.
They just spent so much time beating each other up ringside that, to your point, that spinning head scissors was all it took to get the victory for Aladdin. And here you go. The tag team partner is going to be meeting in this semifinal match.
Wow. Outsiders will be face-to-face in the semifinals this Saturday night at Saturday Night in Springfield. Allies will have to go up against each other. Only one can move to the finals at Guardians of the Ring.
It'll be Anthony McCreary taking on Shaggy on the other side of the bracket. Those 2 semifinal matchups will be happening at Saturday Night in Springfield this Saturday. And the winners of those 2 matchups will face off in our finals at the Guardians of the Ring tournament.
Quite a Final Four. The question will be, who will be the final 2? We also are going to be determining later on tonight in our main event the final participant on the women's side. But up next, the Tri-Wizard champion RJ Bishop is in action against Hades.
Raise your hands, let the fire ignite. Bound by fate, we'll win this fight. Through the storm, hear the echoes cling. Side by side, we're the Guardians of the Ring. Do you hear?
Scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, accompanied by Shane Lord, representing the Disciples of Darkness from the pits of hell, weighing in at 220 pounds, the Warden of Death.
Well, this has been, to say the least, quite the square of individuals with the history they've had with each other, not only in the past month in the case of Hades and Dylan Potteet, but then you can go all the way back to that ambulance match between RJ Bishop and the Shadow Lord. We obviously know that Hades will get his rematch for the Intercontinental Championship against Dylan Potteet. That'll be taking place at Guardians of the Ring, but tonight, he gets the Tri-Wizard champion in RJ Bishop.
And this will definitely be one to keep an eye on. And, you know, with the appearance of the Shadow Lord next to Hades in this one, I wouldn't be surprised to see RJ accompanied by Dylan Potteet. There he is.
There you go.
Weighing in at 236 pounds, the Miz World Champion,
RJ Bishop was absolutely battered in that ambulance match. You can still see he's sporting some of the wounds from that exchange between him and the Shadow Lord, but he and Dylan Potteet successful in defeating the Disciples of Darkness this past Saturday night on FWE Extra in tag team action. So I guess any questions of if RJ Bishop is good to go for in-ring action have been answered. Here tonight, though, he's not going to have anybody to tag in or out. It'll just be him and Hades one-on-one.
Hades is definitely not going to be the easiest opponent in a one-on-one matchup, though. And I mean, I think, you know, if you're Hades, he could just be seeing this as a potential warm-up for his Intercontinental Championship rematch. But if Hades is able to defeat RJ in this one, I got to ask the question, does that maybe give Hades a right to challenge for the Tri-Wizard Championship in the future?
It's a really, really good point.
I mean, we've talked about it numerous times. It's not guaranteed that RJ will defend the title at Combat Evolved because, you know, the tournament that we're having right now, the Guardians of the Ring tournament, it's only to determine #1 contenders for those championships when we get to Combat Evolved. The championship can still change hands. It's totally up for grabs.
Nice drop kick there by RJ. You bring up a really, really good point. We could also throw a fly into the ointment as well in the fact that, remember how RJ ended up winning the Tri-Wizard Championship? He ended up winning that Royal Rumble, that All I Want for Christmas Royal Rumble match, which kind of, in a sense, was equal to winning a Money in the Bank briefcase. William Turner has got the Money in the Bank briefcase right now, so depending on circumstances here, before we eventually get to Combat Evolved, say RJ Bishop's involved in a matchup with somebody and is beaten up quite a bit, William Turner could capitalize with that Money in the Bank briefcase, and he could be the new champion going into that PLE.
Yeah, RJ's got to be a little bit extra aware here tonight. I think he was charging at the Shadow Lord for a moment as Hades missed that punching attack.
Already documented the history between RJ Bishop and the Shadow Lord, so you know that having him at ringside is causing a distraction here with his presence for the Tri-Wizard champ.
Oh, look out here, RJ. Nice reversal there. We'll get Hades down to his back.
Head scissors takedown. Let's not forget, too, RJ's not unfamiliar with wrestling bigger individuals. The man he ended up taking the Tri-Wizard Championship off of, the Incredible Hulk.
I mean, I can definitely speak from experience, and again, we always talk about this whenever there's a big size disparity, but if you can outmaneuver, outthink your bigger opponent, you can overcome that size advantage.
It's hard to be able to counter that power advantage, though. That power bomb there by Hades, and I don't know about this, going into a slugfest with him?
Well, they're going to do it anyway. maybe ill-advised, but at this point, you're starting to run on pure adrenaline.
I mean, if nothing else, the height of Hades gives him a little bit
Look
more
at RJ.
gravity behind his punches, I would think, giving him an advantage physically.
RJ definitely not backing down from the challenge. You can see him pointing at his face, bring it. Oh, I think he went for another Hurricane Rana, did not connect.
Hades able to hold on to the ropes to stall his momentum, threw off the timing there for RJ, and now a jawbreaker stuns the champ.
Oh!
Smooth blade dropkick combination. Here's the cover by RJ Bishop to put Hades away, and Hades gonna power out. Yeah, you certainly gotta wonder what kind of a matchup we're gonna have at Guardians of the Ring between Hades and Dylan Pottier, because we've documented this as a massive slam by Hades there to RJ. When Pottier won the title from Hades, it was a borderline squash match, which I don't think we would have ever expected to say in a match that Hades is involved in.
You can tell it's kind of frustrated Hades as well. He's kind of been working as hard as he can to try to get that rematch. Obviously, he has the rematch clause, but he wants to make sure that he's able to get momentum back on his side before that rematch, because that can be a very frustrating loss when you enter a matchup and you feel like it should have been dominated by you and it was dominated by the other guy.
Of course, as well, we ended up seeing RJ Bishop make his reemergence to FWE at the Power Up PLE, flanking Dylan Pottier as Pottier fought for the title.
Oh!
Oh my goodness!
How did he go that far?
I have no idea. Oh no,
no.
This is not going to be good for the champ! We've seen this so many times. Hades with that patented tombstone pile driver on the outside to the floor, and RJ may be out.
I mean, Hades is thinking about him. I was wondering if he was just going to walk away and let the countout continue, but he removed
look
that
out.
turnbuckle pad. Hi, RJ.
Nearly just ended up in your lap right there. Referee at a count of 8. We might have a double count out here. RJ back inside of the ring. Hades has got to get back in. And he didn't. Referee counted 10.
Oh my goodness. Hades is going to be furious.
Yes, he is.
I might want to get out of here.
I think referee Ernest Wright might not want to be here right now. I think he might want to run to the back. It was a buzzer beater photo finish type moment there, but Hades was not able apparently to get it between the ropes and hold it. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
They're ticked off.
They're not going to hold back. They're going to let out all their frustration on Dylan Pottier and RJ Bishop. I mean, at some point soon, this has got to end.
You said that Hades was going to be maybe frustrated going into that matchup. He may be even more now.
Down Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and all his reindeers pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. So hang your stockings and say your prayers.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 700 pounds, the Hurt Business.
Well, I've got conflicting questions in my head, and I don't know which one is the most important to answer. Either how unorthodox is this tag team of the Hurt Business, the Easter Bunny, and Santa Claus, or what the heck is going on with these vignettes?
I couldn't tell you the answer to either one of them. I can definitively tell you that this is one of the most blinding entrances we have here in FWE.
Well, we definitely know that in 8 days' time, we can at least pinpoint that to Guardians of the Ring.
That's true.
Why we're getting these special vignettes each episode, whether it be Thursday or Saturday nights, I'm not certain, and I cannot get any information out of anyone backstage, whether it be production or otherwise. One thing we do know is that at Guardians of the Ring, we may potentially end up seeing the Hurt Business fight for the Men's Disney Tag Team Championships as they get ready to face off against the Crew. Winner of this matchup goes up against Ed and Eddie, now of the family, for #1 contendership to face off against Leonardo and Donatello of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Weight of 365 pounds, the Crew.
Here comes the Black Pearl Crew sprinting to the ring, and obviously we have to mention it again. Will Turner holding that men's power-up briefcase, which means he can cash in for a title opportunity wherever, whenever he wants it.
We saw just moments ago that attack by the Disciples of Darkness and maybe added motivation for Hades going into the chance of reclaiming the Intercontinental Championship. You talk about motivation. How about for the Black Pearl Crew? We already know that Ed and Eddie are moving on from the family. It was their emergence at the expense of William Turner and Jack Sparrow, a brawl taking place that ended up seeing the ranks of the family increase. You gotta think there's gotta be some motivation. They want another shot at the family.
I was going to say, too, though, you got to have eyes in the back of your head, because I almost wonder if the family might show up and try to intervene in this matchup.
They could very well. We
Will
know that
Turner
they
is
don't adhere to
involved in it.
rules.
That's true. Like, Will Turner is involved in this matchup. I have to wonder, the family must have been targeting Will Turner, because they were out there to brawl him after that matchup that he had ended with Matt McIntyre. Nice reversal there.
Need to mention as well, William Turner holds a pinfall. Well, actually, it was a submission victory over Matt McIntyre just prior to that attack by the family. So, possible consideration of him being in the conversation for a shot at the United States Championship belt. Tag in here to Jack Sparrow. We haven't really seen the Black Pearl Crew tag together very often.
No, we haven't. This would be a golden opportunity for them to show us what they're capable of in the tag division. Cover going to be in here by Jack Sparrow on the Easter Bunny. I think there was a brief kick out before Santa got in there.
And I think because of that, to your point, I think there might have been a little bit of friendly fire. I think Santa might have hit the Easter Bunny a lot more than he hit Jack Sparrow on that attempt to break up the pinfall.
I guess Santa's not going to get any Easter eggs this year.
Enziguri by Jack Sparrow takes Santa to the outside. Jack Sparrow and Easter Bunny, the two legal participants right now. You know that referee Ernest Wright is definitely very hard set on making sure the individual or individuals are in between the ropes or between the count of 10. I'm still worrying about him and the fact that he counted out Hades moments ago.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit rattled by that. Obviously, Hades was very frustrated after that matchup. You saw them take out their frustration. And then the Shadow Lord took out their frustration on RJ Bishop and Dylan Poteet. Cover here by the Easter Bunny.
Referee Ernest Wright taking quite a bit of time to get over there to make sure the shoulders were down. Might have cost some precious seconds there for the Easter Bunny. Not saying it would have been a 3 count, but would have been closer than it just was.
And at the end of the day, referee's discretion is final. Just some competitors may not love hearing that. Look out here, Santa.
Oh, gosh. Jack Sparrow squashed like a bug and somehow was able to kick out at 1.
And he was feeling the weight of all those milk and cookies, but somehow able to get out of it.
Santa now in control. Jack Sparrow in a bad spot. Back elbow will get him out of that corner, though.
Be dropped though, maybe looking for the hot tag, will connect.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to be able to match strength with Santa just because he has so much mass behind him, but that'll work.
That'll do just nicely. Oh, but he gets shoved right back down to the ring mat.
Oh, and a lot of force behind that discus forearm. Looking for another massive splash, this time to William Turner.
Does not go into the cover, though. He feels like he's got to dish out a little bit more damage, and that makes sense. Will Turner only just got tagged in.
Got to think backstage, at least momentarily. The family got to be watching this matchup, looking to see who their future opponents are going to be, who they will be facing off against this Saturday night at Springfield for #1 contendership. You got to also think that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donatello Leonardo, currently holding the tag team titles, having a vested interest in this matchup as well.
Look out here, big double axe handle.
Easter Bunny's an enigma to me. I never know exactly what to expect from him. Is the cover in here, kick out at 1. No, he's got that deceptive power. He's obviously got that agility and speed. I think the biggest thing about him, though, is the unpredictability.
Yeah, you never really know what he's got planning, and yeah, like you said, he's really hard to get a read on.
Oh, look at this. Just picking up William Turner from a dead weight dominator. Wrong side of town as well. Good positioning by Santa. Cover in, and William gets the shoulder up at 2.
Somehow the Black Pearl crew is still in this, but you would think Will Turner, he's been in there for a while. He's received a ton of punishment. He might have to go for a tag at some point.
Saw the look of disbelief there on Santa Claus. He thought that was it. And now maybe a little frustration here. Is he going up to, what the heck?
Oh my. Tag is made. Santa's gonna have to get down. Or is he? Yeah, he is.
Boy, William Turner might have just saved his FWE career right there with that tag.
It might have just saved our ring mat.
Maybe. Take down by the Easter Bunny on Jack Sparrow. Easter Bunny in control right now.
Now tag is gonna be made, but Jack Sparrow gonna roll outside the ring.
Santa's gonna follow him out there. Oh! Maybe Jack Sparrow suckered him in with that high knee.
Fight back now, dropping Sparrow's head onto the ring. Oh, big kick.
Roundhouse kick by Jack Sparrow. Santa is down. Referee at a count of 5.
I mean, in the case of a matchup like this, you're just competing for the opportunity to have a #1 contendership spot, so count out victory would count just as much. Here we go.
Cover is in and a kick out at 1. Oh, look at that. William Turner going to dispose of the Easter Bunny. Jack Sparrow might have something in mind here to finish this off. Standing Spanish fly.
How
Cover is in.
Standing Spanish fly, the big man. But
I don't know.
Easter Bunny was right there to break that one up.
Even despite William Turner spearing him off the ring apron, now where in the world is Jack Sparrow going to do? Hits the flying knee. And he'll make the tag to William Turner rather than going for a cover. Oh, submission locked in. Leg lock here. Santa's pretty close to the ropes. Can he get the fingertips to touch? He's not going to need to. Uh-oh, Santa stunner!
That's it.
That has got to do it. Cover is in, and Jack Sparrow knew that was the end as well. Breaks it up.
He definitely heard what we were thinking there. He heard what we were saying out loud. He rushed right back into the ring to save Will Turner. Definitely can't receive one of those again. Oh, small package connects.
Small package brainbuster. Still got the legs hooked here. Cover in, and that's going to do it.
Wow. And just like that, the Black Pearl crew, they're going to take on the family, and the winner of that matchup is going to be the #1 contenders for the men's tag team titles.
They've already got history. It's going to continue this Saturday night. And up next, the final of the Women's Guardians of the Ring Fatal 4-Ways.
Raise your hands, let the fire ignite. Bound by fate, we'll win this fight. Through the storm, hear the echoes cling. Side by
The following is a fatal four-way match. Making her way to the ring from Uganda, Black Archer.
Shuri, one of 4 women with an opportunity here, the last opportunity to move into the semifinals for the Guardians of the Ring tournament. We've seen her, last time we saw her, she was sporting this kind of unmasked war paint look, bringing it back again here tonight, and we know that whoever wins this matchup will be going up against Rapunzel in the semifinals this Saturday night.
And we'd be remiss to mention the way that match ended, because obviously Rapunzel went to the same cover at the same time.
Representing the Anarchists from another time, Catherine
We mentioned about during the course of these last few weeks, a couple of individuals have had to pull some double duty on respective nights. Just earlier this evening, we saw Katniss Everdeen and her tag team partner Ellie become the new #1 contenders for the women's Disney tag team titles. The question is though, with the amount of time spent in that match, does that put Katniss at a physical disadvantage in this fatal 4-way?
You would have to think so. And I mean, a fatal 4-way is an absolute war. We've seen it time and time again how crazy these matches have been. There's been action inside, outside the ring. So you're going to have to keep your head on a swivel here. And if you're Katniss in particular, save as much strength as you possibly can. This is not going to be easy.
Katniss is used to multi-women matchups, a former female fighting champion. And speaking of champions,
from Long Island, New York, the Women's Cruiserweight Champion, the Surfer, Susan Storm.
I go back to the point you made about how Rapunzel ended up winning her fatal 4-way. There were double covers at the time. Herself and Shigo both had an opponent covered. Referee counted 3, and Rapunzel's hand was raised. To make amends, our FFWE commissioner, Woody, this past Saturday night, gave Shigo the opportunity to challenge for any mid-card title. She told us at the end of the night her intentions were clear. She will face Susan Storm for the Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship at Guardians of the Ring.
That creates another dilemma too, because if you're Susan Storm, in a moment,
From the People's Republic of China, the Asian Nightmare.
I was going to say, if you're Susan Storm, you also have to make sure that you come out of this matchup as close to 100% as you possibly can be, because you don't want to go into a title defense banged up, having to deal with an injury.
Well, consider this possibility. What if Susan Storm ends up winning all the way to the finals? She'd have 2 matches that night. Not only have to defend her title, but then have to face off against either Elizabeth Swann or Poison Ivy in the finals of the tournament.
Let me just say that when I held 2 singles titles at the same time, I'm glad I didn't have to defend both of them on the same night. That would have been a problem. I can't speak to how that could be managed.
Speaking of defending titles, she's not brought it out ringside here tonight, but Mulan, the current female fighting champion, saw her successfully defend that title this past Saturday night against Kim Possible. Open challenge, and she's ever since winning the title had these knockout type matchups. You got to certainly think that's a trend that's going to continue so long as the belt is around her waist.
Absolutely. And hey, you're 2 for 2 in them so far, so why stop?
Well, 3 of these 4 women have at one point or currently held a title here in FWE. Shuri is the only outlier. She was involved in fighting for the inaugural Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship with Susan Storm. They were 2 of the 4 participants in that steel cage match. So a little history between those two. You gotta wonder if they're gonna lock up at some point. It's covered here by Katniss on Shuri right out of the gate, and Mulan quick to break it up.
This would be a big kind of a statement for Mulan if she's able to win this tournament as well. Former Women's Universal Champion, the first person to win that title at Paramount. And the person she took it off of was Elizabeth Swann.
Unforgettable 2 out of 3 tables match. Now Mulan to the outside after that released German suplex from Susan Storm. Ooh, nice kick there by Susan. Missed with the forward kick, but then caught her on the back. And oh, what in the world is she going for here? Oh, my!
Can't say I've seen that one before too many times.
Big kick right to the face there of Katniss Everdeen, who again, remember, is not at 100%, was involved in a tag team matchup earlier on tonight. The other 3 coming into this matchup at a much higher advantage physically.
Now she was spending a moment there on ringside eating kendo stick for breakfast, lunch, and dinner thanks to Shuri, but oh, big kick there. I was gonna say she just seemed to reverse momentum, but now Mulan getting involved as well.
You mentioned Elizabeth Swann and Mulan's history with each other. We know that at least on one side of the bracket in the semifinals this Saturday night at Springfield, it will be a couple of former Women's Universal Champions going up against each other, Elizabeth Swann and Poison Ivy. It's not the first 2 that those 2 women have locked up. May not be the last. They will rekindle that rivalry this Saturday night. Winner of this matchup is going to get Rapunzel, and it's kind of interesting. We go back to the final Fatal 4-Way we had earlier on tonight. On the men's side, we know that we're going to have teammates, tag team partners, Flynn Rider and Aladdin going up against each other. You've got Mulan here of the Disney Queens. If she advances, it's a Disney Queens member versus a Disney Queens member in the semifinals.
So another case of 2 members of the same tag team and or faction meeting up in a semifinal. We're seeing that in the men's side already with Aladdin and Flynn Rider.
Also consider this as well, going back to that tag team matchup earlier on tonight. Rapunzel was involved in that along with Belle, her tag team partner. Drive-by by Susan Storm to Shuri. Oh, and look out! Katniss crossing the corner there and meets a steel chair. Flatliner inside the ring by Mulan, going in for the cover. This could be it. Mulan to advance into the semifinals, and Susan Storm there to break it up. But consider the possibility.
Oh, big punch.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this could be it right here. Susan Storm with the cover, and now Katniss has to break it up.
But we saw barely get in the points we want to talk about. This match is happening so fast.
But we saw Catching Fireflies eliminate, in a sense, the Disney Queens from #1 contendership for the tag team titles here tonight. If Katniss wins this evening, she'd be facing off against Rapunzel in the semifinals. They'd be facing off against each other again.
To be clear, they are not actually completely eliminated. That was just a little mini tournament that we have going on.
They are not the #1 contenders, though. We know that. Catching Fireflies will get the title shot at Team Let It Go this Saturday night.
On the weaponry outside the ring here, I was going to say earlier we had a kendo stick go flying, and we've had a steel chair go flying in this matchup. We already saw multiple steel chairs flying in the men's Fatal 4-Way earlier tonight.
A lot of weaponry strewn on the outside of the ring right now.
We got to get these signs up there.
Yeah, definitely. I think the suggestion box has been stuffed with that particular suggestion. Hopefully corporate listens.
I would hope so.
But knowing them, they'll probably just get a bigger box. Nice double team there by Susan Storm and Shuri. We haven't really seen much interaction between those two, especially in the fact of, oh wow, both were in the conversation to be the very first Cozy Cone Cruiserweight champion, but they also are both part of the Avengers faction, so maybe that's why we saw a little bit of teammateship going on right there, but it was short-lived.
It was. It's always going to be short-lived in the Fatal 4-Way, though, let's be honest. I mean, business comes first at the end of the day.
All this action on the outside of the ring, it's kind of given the same vibes as the men's Fatal 4-Way earlier on tonight, where we saw a good portion of the matchup taking place outside, and as soon as they got back inside, it just took that one move, that one finishing blow to be able to put somebody away. We could be entering into that territory here on the women's side.
I mean, it wasn't even that big of a move either. All it was a spinning head scissors, but they had done so much damage to each other ringside. That was all it took.
Of course, as we mentioned here, as little teamwork between Katniss and Susan Storm to take down Mulan, but we do know that Susan Storm will be defending the Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship at Guardians of the Ring, and the interesting thing about that is she's held the title belt ever since its inception, well over 100 days. This is going to mark her first title defense.
Oh! Yeah, it's something that's really interesting, too, because she was the first person to win that belt. It's a little bit surprising that it's been so long since she's actually had a title defense. I wonder how up to the task she may be.
Oh, Blink Blade there by Shuri. Here's the cover on Katniss to advance into the semifinals.
What was Mulan doing?
I have no idea. Whatever it was.
From recent experience, if you see a pin in front of you, break it up.
Yeah. I mean, whatever Mulan was doing, Shuri, I think, will be more than glad to take it, as she's going to advance into the semifinals. She gets Rapunzel this Saturday night.
Talk about an electric tournament so far. These two tournaments, the Guardians of the Ring on both men's and women's side, it's been electric, and we're headed to Saturday night in Springfield for these epic semifinals.
These semifinals will determine who are going to face off against each other in the respective finals at the Guardians of the Ring PLE. But this Saturday night, folks, we hope you will join us. The precursor to that PLE is the third iteration of FWE Saturday night at Springfield. 4 semifinal matches, 2 for the women's, 2 for the men's. We know the women's tag team titles will be on the line as well. We hope that you will join us for that. Thank you for joining us here tonight on FWA Extra. We'll see you Saturday night for Saturday Night at Springfield.